All right, welcome back, brothers. This is Dario Fermaint, Past Master, Odenton Lodge, number 209, with you once again. So last week we talked about, I'm just leaving the gym. One of the brothers from the lodge has his own gym over here, so it's pretty nice. I like to frequent, the businesses of brothers, right? Anyway, so last time we were talking about how past masters, and then even regular master masons as well, tend to kind of have a personality that coincides with or is similar to one of the three supporting pillars of masonry. Wisdom, strength, and beauty. And so that got me to thinking over the week, how I tend to naturally over, these past 10 years, I kind of slip masonry into my regular life, right? Or the philosophy and tenets of masonry into regular life. And obviously, that's kind of the intention, right? The whole purpose of masonry is to make us better. And, with these teachings, it's, we kind of incorporate them into our normal lives, right? So what do I mean by that? Or give you an example of what I do. So, I'm a manager in my office, a manager of managers, as they say. And one of the things that I like to do is I break everything into three parts, right? Real, novel, right? But I break, plan making into those three fundamental parts of wisdom, strength, and beauty, right? So I don't call it that because it sounds, sounds abnormal, right? So I'll usually say something about, the frame of the plan, the meat of the plan, and then finally fill in the edges, right? So in doing so, I notice that other people start saying the same thing, right? They start using my words. Now, mind you, it's probably half of it has to do with the fact that I'm the manager of these other folks, and so therefore they're probably picking up the language that I understand so that they can communicate to me. But I've noticed that they'll do it among themselves as well, right? I have the pleasure of my office being right next to a conference room, and I hear people talking in that conference room with each other, and then oftentimes with other organizations through the telework situation, video conferencing. And they will use my words and slogans, and when they talk about setting up different plans with one another, they'll start it out, right, using the same language. Right? Let's set up the framework. Let's now fill in these edges, etc., etc. So, all that to say, I think incorporating masonry or learning masonry is not enough, right? I think it's important for us to incorporate masonry into our normal life, to not only make life better for ourselves, right? To keep ourselves structured and grounded, but also for the benefit of others, right? They don't have to be a mason to benefit from masonry, right? I think that, I gotta write that down. You don't have to be a mason to benefit from masonry. I think that's something that we all do automatically with our families, and unknowingly, or maybe subconsciously, or however you want to call it, we do it in our normal social discourse. So, what's the lesson here? I think the lesson is kind of the realization that I'm doing this, but now more important is the deliberate use of the lesson, deliberate application of the lesson of the three supporting pillars. And so if you can incorporate that into your normal life and incorporate it in such a way that it's more natural to your environment, right? You will have a profound effect on those around you, especially if you're in a leadership position. But to be quite frank, you don't have to be in an official leadership position. Just showcasing the use of the pillars is, quite frankly, it is leadership in practice, right? So you can have that profound effect on others and represent yourself in a reputable manner, but also the fraternity. And you will be the example that we want to set, and the example for the fraternity, and bring pride to not only yourself in the lodge, but also the fraternity at large. So, that being said, I think this is a great opportunity to kind of look for instances where you can apply the three pillars into your daily life, and use it as an experiment, because maybe you're already doing it and you just don't realize it, right? It just comes so natural to you, because especially if you've been a Mason for a long time. But look for opportunities to incorporate it deliberately, and then as part of the experiment, see if it catches on, right? See if others start using your language, maybe, or they start taking into consideration, your methodology. Now, mind you, it's going to be a tough one, right? Because everything in at least, modern Western society, right, is done in threes, right? We, movies and TV shows are all in 3 acts. Our books and stories are all in 3 acts. So it's such a natural thing that you might not notice other people doing it. But if you're deliberate, like I said, and use your own kind of terminology, it'd be interesting, it'd be interesting to see how much of that catches on, right? So I think that would be the measuring stick, right? How do you measure something that doesn't have sides and edges? I think by giving it, sides and edges, you'll be able to then measure it, right? So that's my challenge this week. Please go out there and take the opportunity to try to engage with your normal life. I'm not trying to ask you to go out there and do anything extra, but when you're doing it, deliberately use those pillars in such a way that it's unique to you, and see if it catches on with others. Okay? All right, brothers, that is it. I'm almost home. Super nice short trip. Again, it is beautiful outside. I don't know if you can see out the windows. It's a fantastic day here in Maryland. It's not very cold. It's only 28 degrees. And the sun is shining. And the snow is almost all gone. So that's the Saturday. All right. So go out there. Have a great time. Try to engage with your community with the 3 pillars. And I will see you next week.